Good morning, everyone. It's always what you're supposed to do. If you call yourself a believer, if you call yourself a saint, if you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself an Israelite, you call yourself a man or a woman of God, no matter how you call it, place your cross on first. What that means? Get wisdom, get understanding, seek spiritual things, seek things above, and everything else will come. And be careful who you talk to. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. It's easier said than done sometimes. Thy will be done. Those go together. Thy will be done. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Kind of fit hand in hand. Now, I said be careful who you talk to earlier, right? You got to be careful who you talk to, especially when it comes to women. Been there, done that, still have done it, trying to get over it, trying to get better at it, not listening to certain people. Because if it's an order for a reason, and it's set up that way for a reason, God's order. You see, us as men, I'm talking to you men today, us as men are designed to seek counsel from who? The Lord. Now, if you seek counsel from the Lord and you get an understanding and wisdom from Him, you'll know if you're getting wicked counsel or not. You'll know who is for you or against you. And remember, deliver us from evil. That's part of it. All of it works hand in hand. But anyway, let's start with Proverbs chapter 25 today. I'm not going to read all of it. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Look at that. Search out. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Now listen closely. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Now think about that. When you take away wicked from around you, and you trust in God, and what he said, what's going to happen? And his throne shall be established in righteousness. Now, the Proverbs also talks about having wicked counselors around you. People who tell you the wrong thing, don't lead you in the right direction. As a man, you need to learn to trust in God first before you trust in anything anybody else say. Be careful out there, people. Let's go to Micah. Micah chapter 7. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the grape leanings of the vintage. There is no cluster to eat. My soul desires the first striped fruit. The good man is perished out of the earth. Why, I wonder? Why is the good man perished out of the earth? The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net, that they may do evil with both hands, earnestly. The prince asketh, and the judge asketh for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischief's desire, so they wrap it up. The best of them is a briar. The most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of thy watchman and the visitation cometh, now shall be their perplexity. Listen closely. Trust ye not in a friend. Put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. For the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter rises up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. Wow. That's been repeated through the Bible a lot. Therefore, I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Let's read that again. Starting with verse 5. Micah chapter 7, verse 5. Men, remember this. Remember these verses I'm giving you today. Actually, the Lord gave it to me, and I'm giving it to you. Remember these verses that the Lord gave to us. Trust ye not in a friend. Put you not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. For the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter rises up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. Therefore I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Now let's go back to verse 2. The good man is perished out of the earth. And is there none upright among them men? They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net, that they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asketh, and the judge asketh for reward. Look at this wicked counsel and the wickedness. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire, so they wrap it up. Amazing. Let's go to a story such as this. A story that's so similar to that. But first, let's go to Psalm 2. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their banners asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. You see, when you mess with the wrong people, or you get information from the wrong people, it can be bad for you and bad for the person you got counsel from. You know, over the years, I done learned, I'm still learning, to keep your mouth shut when the wicked is before you. Doesn't the Bible say that? And the wicked can be friends, family members, household members, your wife. He said, guard your mouth from the one that lies at your bosom. You see, a lot of men, they don't seek the Lord for advice. I did this. You have a bad day at work, the first thing you do is go home to your wife and start bitching and complaining and telling her how bad your day was. I've done that before. And I remember with my first wife, I did that before. And it's like people encourage you to do something stupid. Quit. Quit your job. Quit your job. That's what your wife or your old lady, that's what the majority of most people got now. They ain't got wives. Quit. I got your back. Then you quit. You a lazy piece of trash. You don't want to work. You just didn't want to work in the first place. That's why your counsel need to come from God first. That's why I say every day put your cross on first. As a man, you need to learn to seek God. Deliver us from evil. You need to learn to seek God. For his will to be done, you need to learn to seek God first and foremost, forever and always. But you know, we learn, we live and we learn. We live and we learn. We live and we learn. Let's go to Proverbs. I'm going to get to the point. Bear with me. Bear with me, people. People love the virtuous woman's verse, but they don't like this part that comes before the virtuous woman part. And Proverbs 31. The words of King Lemuel, the prophet that his mother taught him. I think I read this not too long ago, but well, God led it back to me today. What, my son, and what? The son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor the ways to that which destroyeth kings. Ooh. But then, a few verses later, 31:10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Who can find her? Now, there's some out there. But it ain't many. I hate to say it to y'all women out there, but if you a virtuous one, you're a good one. Stay that way. Because in this world we live in, it ain't many. It ain't even too many virtuous men. Putting one to one together to get to the number, to get the answer. I find one man among 1,000, but among women I find none. This, I think it is in Ecclesiastes. So even one of 1,000 men ain't wise. Only one, one of out of 1,000. Wow, amazing. I didn't say it, but I agree with it. Do I consider myself one in 1,000? I hope so. Glory be to God. But I had to learn to become that one in 1,000 through studying, through reading the Bible, through trials and tribulations. And then the more I go through trials and tribulations, the more every word in this Bible start making sense to me. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. I see it all the time. I go to customers' houses. I'm talking to the man. I meet the man at the door first. Okay, let me know what's going where and what's going how. And I hear many men say these words, and I look at them like, what? Let me get the boss of the house. She knows everything. What? Holy crap. And you wonder why the enemy keeps sneaking into your house. Because you're giving all authority, full authority to your wife to be in control. You done submitted to her. I know most of y'all men be like, that's how it's supposed to be. You better read the Bible, son. Now let's read the characteristics of a virtuous woman. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he has no need of spoil. Now pay attention to that now. Now, that can be right in both ways. You can have a wicked wife who help you gather riches. That's why you need to know the word of God. And you can have a righteous, virtuous woman that help you gather riches. But the thing is, if you're a man of God, he's going to let you know the difference. One way or the other. He said she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. One way a woman can do a man good and not evil all the days of her life is sometimes just shutting the hell up. Oh. Ooh, boy, I can't believe I said that. But sometimes just being quiet and just listening to your man vent after a hard day's work. It's going to be okay, baby. Trust in the Lord. Stop trying to give advice to your husband or your old man. That seems like to be the new thing. Even though I don't even like preaching on relationships and friendships and girlfriends and boyfriends or babes and babies. I like to preach on the right thing and teach on the right thing. Husbands and wives. Let's put it this way. What I'm telling you today don't apply to your girlfriend. But it does apply in a way. It don't apply to your boyfriend, but it does apply in a way. But if you're trying to get delivered from wickedness and from evil, you shouldn't be sleeping with them, first of all. If that's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you should be just a friend. So if it's anything other than that, it's wicked. So basically, if you're getting advice from each other like that, you're probably wicked, both of you. Yeah, I said it. You can get mad how you want. It is what it is. That don't make me wicked. Oh, yes, it does. According to scripture, it does. If she ain't your wife and he ain't your husband, and y'all sleeping together, y'all giving each other advice on things and can't give each other advice on, we need to get married today, something is wrong in that relationship. Yes. That is not a God-fearing, sanctified relationship. That is a fornicating, wicked relationship. Yes. Let's keep going. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Now, Now you see why it's so hard to find a virtuous woman. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. That means she gonna know the word. She gonna know the headship. She gonna know he's in charge, not me. I love my husband. I want to do great things. I want to make him look good. I don't want him to look bad. I ain't gonna call every time we have an argument at the house. I'm not gonna call my mama and my best friends up and say how much of a piece of shit he is. Yes, I said it because that's what more normally how it goes. He's just garbage. You know, you're gonna do him good and not evil all the days of life. Shut your mouth up. Stop telling your mama. I can see if he drop kick you in the face just for no reason. Just, the Hadouken, you know what I'm saying? More to come back. X-ray moves on you. If he doing stuff like that and beating you down, yeah, you let somebody know. But don't be lying now. Don't get slapped in your face because you done did something you didn't supposed to do in regards to your marriage, and then want to call your family member and be like, hey, he doing this, he doing that, when you know doggone well you messed up. Because you know we live in a world where everybody takes the woman's side. I watched the video. Should a man hit a woman? Jesse, it's a dude, Jesse, man, he's funny. He was interviewing this woman. No, a man shouldn't hit a woman. What if a woman hit a man? Should he hit her back? No, he shouldn't. He's a man. Well, what about her? No, she shouldn't. She's a woman. You're a woman. You shouldn't be hitting a man in the first place. You see, we live in a double standard world. You can't just keep slapping your man and expecting you not to get slapped back. You can't keep talking bad on your man and expecting not to be talked back in that manner. You reap what you sow. You see, you got to know the situation. You say a lot of women in this world like to play victim. I'm not saying all of them. I say a lot of women in this world like to play victim. They know doggone well they messed up. In order to point the blame at the man, they run and tell that before the truth about them get out. He a piece of trash. He don't want to work. Or you ain't tell him you told him to quit his job. You didn't tell that part. Well, he was complaining at his job, so I gave him the best advice I can give him. How about this good advice? Trust in the Lord, husband. Don't worry about it. He'll get you through this. Don't quit your job. How about that type of advice? Let's keep going. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willing with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth forth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night and giveth meat to her household and a portion of her maiden. What is he saying? She ain't lazy. She ain't going from house to house like the Bible talks about in the New Testament, grow an idol, gossiping, talking trash, running tail dead everywhere, telling everybody business to somebody else that's telling somebody else business. That's not a virtuous wife. That's not a good woman. She considereth her field and buyeth it. She look at for the welfare of her house. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. Hey, how about you get out there and get a garden? I ain't got nothing to do. Cut the grass. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth out by night. She lift her hands to the spindle and her hands hold it staff. Women ain't like that no more. She's a working woman. She puts her hand to work. She don't just sit at the house, watch TV all day, and then she know her husband get off at 4 o'clock and get up and wash dishes and start cooking. Baby, I've been working hard all day, baby. Then you go on to the TV and you go on YouTube and you see Jerry Springer, recent history, and all this stuff. What you been doing all day? Not a damn thing. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. She reaches forth her hands to the needy. She help people out. She ain't stingy. She is not afraid of snow for her household. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. They look good. She makes sure her house look good. A lot of y'all want to be wives and don't even take care of home. Man got to come home and wash dishes and clean and cook too. And cut the grass. Wow, you're a great woman. Not. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So a virtuous woman is one that knows the Lord. She looketh well to the ways of her household. How is telling your man to quit work It's looking well to them. And eateth not the bread of idleness. She's not an idle woman. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he prays of her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou shallest them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Now let's read that again. A woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. So it's a woman that fear the Lord, be like, I love God, baby. But you don't run me. You don't run this house. I run this house. Oh, you fear the Lord. You are wrong, woman. Yeah? Maybe I'm talking about this because it seems like every wife I get seems like to be the wrong woman. But that's cool. I'm learning, people. And I'm keeping y'all aware of what to look out for. Let me pause and I will continue.